Akshay, did you always knew what you wanted to do when you passed out from MBA?
I was all over the place. Saurabh, what about you?
यार मेरे को तो तब भी आइडिया नहीं था, आज भी आइडिया नहीं है.
Confused about your career choices? Wondering what steps to take next? In this podcast called Beyond Campus, Saurabh Garg, founder of C4E, and Akshay Dutt, founder of Unnati, are on a mission to crack open the career success code for the youth. वो बचपन में कहते थे ना, तुम जो चाहे बन सकते हो. So, let's turn the dream into reality.
Hi, I am Preksha Kaparwan and I am CMO and co-founder of Alphaa AI.
जहाँ लोग अपनी पूरी जिंदगी सिर्फ एक ही प्रोफेशन में गुजार देते हैं, कुछ ऐसे भी हैं जिन्होंने अपने पर्पस की खोज में जमीन आसमान एक कर दिया. Preksha Kaparwan, a child of Joshimath, had dreams of flying a jet, but ended up becoming a chef and heading a kitchen. Post that, she became a struggling salesperson and finally bloomed as a marketing wizard and a tech entrepreneur. Her tale depicts the story of the never settling attitude of the modern Indian woman, and she's an inspiration to lakhs of followers on LinkedIn. Here's the story of Preksha Kaparwan, CMO and co-founder of Alphaa AI.
So, Preksha, tell me about Joshimath. You were like a child of Joshimath. मतलब बचपन की क्या यादें अभी आपको मतलब now that you look back क्या चीज याद रहती है?
मतलब जितनी गर्मी यहाँ पे है ना right now I'm in India and like it is so hot over here all the time. I just keep thinking काश मैं जोशीमठ में होती. It would have been so amazing. Yeah, I am so used to seeing all that amazing mountains in Joshimath. पूरा time ना बर्फ रहती थी. Like most of the times the year you will see snow-capped mountain. पंखे नहीं चलते थे. You would like take quilt at night and it was such an amazing time because we were in a joint family. It was a huge family of almost 70 members. Okay. So different households, but
Tell me Joshimath क्या है? मतलब village है, town है, city है, क्या है मतलब?
it's a town. Joshimath town है, and it's a major connecting town for all the trekking places, and there are pilgrimage beyond that area. So जितना भी उत्तर आपका अगस्त मुनि, बद्रीनाथ, there माना गांव, all these हेमकुंड, these all these attractions, the tourist attraction, इसके लिए this is the only base that you have to come to. So any tourist who's going beyond, you have heard of Oli?
Oli, yeah, I have. हाँ.
Yeah, Oli is a major attraction for winter games. Actually, वहाँ पे winter fish games होते हैं. These are like sort of qualifier games for Olympics. So what happens is Joshimath is sort of a town where everyone has to come and stay at the base to make the journey forward from there. तो जोशीमठ यहाँ से 18 घंटे दूर है if you travel continually. और अगर बारिश और लैंडस्लाइड और ये सब नहीं हो रहा है तो ऋषिकेश तक तो बहुत लोग जाते हैं. उसके आगे अगर आप 12 घंटे और जा पाओ, then you reach this beautiful place.
And what was your family doing? Well, you said you had 70-member joint family.
Yeah.
So was it like into the tourism? Like I assume वहाँ tourism would be major source of revenue for that town.
है तो सही. Tourism, hospitality, shops, ये सब है. But my family majorly like most my मेरी grandmother की cousins जो हैं, my दादाजी, his cousins, my uncles, my my cousins, they all got into education. So ज़्यादातर लोग education में हैं. They are कोई केवी में है, कोई someone is professor at a university. So this is the main occupation of my family at least. So my father, however, he joined army once he graduated. जबकि मेरे चाचा and everyone else is also a teacher. So he joined army and that's how we stepped out. Me and my brother, my mother, we stepped out and we started going to the bases with my father. So we were in Rajasthan, Ladakh, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Bhutan. काफी अच्छा सा टूरिस्टी सा बचपन निकला है.
So what is unique about being an army kid? And I know ये army kids की अपनी community होती है अलग से जो they look down upon us the civilian kids and all that. So whether what makes an army kid special or what do you think is the advantage of being an army kid?
एडवांटेज तो ये है कि you get a lot of perks as a kid. और disadvantage ये है कि you have to be like really disciplined because जो मर्जी कर लो, आपके father will always be the strictest person you would know. My father was very strict. He would want us to wake up at 5 in the morning and study till 11 at night. I was like कि आप एक pick कर लो, सुबह या तो रात को, दोनों नहीं हो पाएगा. And father is most of the army fathers are very strict, and they pay special attention to female child. Like, they should be independent, educated. They should be strong.
So you are the elder one.
I am the younger one actually, but not pampered though. I was mischievous like anything, and I would run off in jungles. कभी नदी पे उतर गए, कभी कहीं चले गए, और जितनी मार पड़ती थी ना, मतलब मैं बता ही नहीं सकती. But it has shaped me to be who I am. I think as an army girl, you will always find everyone to be very strong and independent and up for taking challenges. ये थोड़ा सा रहता है with army girls, I think.
So what was your childhood dream कि मैं बड़े होके ये बनूंगी, कुछ ऐसा था?
हाँ था ना, और चेंज भी हुआ टाइम के साथ बहुत ज़्यादा, बट लाइक उसके एट सम पॉइंट आई मेड अ पैक्ट कि अच्छा अब यही है, ठीक है. तो आई वांटेड टू बी अ डॉक्टर एंड आई वांटेड टू बी अ डांसर एट सम पॉइंट, ये सब तो था, कोई बात नहीं. बट देन आई थिंक अराउंड 9th 10th में आई वांटेड टू बिकम एस्ट्रोनॉट. मैंने कहा एस्ट्रोनॉट बनेंगे, ठीक है. माय फादर लाइक कि मतलब यू विल हैव टू बी रियली गुड एट स्टडी, तो तू तो पढ़ती ही नहीं है, तो हाउ विल यू बिकम एन एस्ट्रोनॉट. मैंने कहा बात तो सही है. देन ही इज लाइक यू विल हैव टू स्टडी फॉर years and earn your PhD, and then you can get into research, and then probably you can become something like that. आई वाज लाइक बहुत पढ़ना पड़ेगा, मेरे तो बस की नहीं है. फिर मैंने थोड़ा सा ना चेकआउट किया, तो आई रियलाइज कि टू बी अ पायलट यू हैव टू जस्ट गेट अ लाइसेंस. फिर मैंने देखा लाइसेंस बहुत महंगा मिलता है, ठीक है. आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन यू गेट अ CDC एंड इट्स लाइक CPL, सॉरी, इट्स अ वेरी कॉस्टली 11-12 लाख एट दैट पॉइंट. मैंने कहा अच्छा वो तो हो नहीं पाएगा, पापा के पैसे है नहीं. तो फिर आई डिसाइडेड ठीक है, आई बिकम एन एयरफोर्स पायलट. अब at that time, for girls you have to do your 12th and then graduate and then do another course to be an air force pilot. तो फिर अब डिसाइड ये हुआ कि पायलट बनने के लिए भी बहुत पढ़ना पड़ रहा है, तो वो भी नहीं बना जाएगा.
तो ये कब डिसाइड किया आपने, मतलब उसी टाइम 10th 11th में डिसाइड कर लिया कि ये बहुत पढ़ना पड़ेगा?
ये 10th से पहले की बात है. क्योंकि मेरे को पढ़ने का बिल्कुल भी मन नहीं था, मैं पढ़ूंगी ही नहीं. आई वाज सो स्टबर्न. Like I liked learning, but studying with discipline was not my thing, and homework and projects, I just can't do that. तो माय पेरेंट्स वर लाइक तू पढ़ती वढ़ती है नहीं, तो ऐसे तो हो नहीं पाएगा. मैंने कहा अभी पायलट भी बनने का प्लान खत्म है, क्योंकि पढ़ना पड़ेगा ग्रेजुएशन के बाद फिर से. तो मैंने कहा वो भी नहीं हो सकता, ठीक है. तो अब ऐसा करते हैं, कौन सा ऐसा प्रोफेशन है विच विल अलाउ मी टू फ्लाई एंड आई स्टिल डोंट हैव टू डू ग्रेजुएशन, और लाइक पढ़ना ना पड़े ज़्यादा. And can you believe I was in Chandigarh? Chandigarh is known for its education. And the kind of community I was in, everyone is like doing well, engineers and doctors है, and I am like कि मेरे को पढ़ना ही नहीं है. So parents were disappointed, but ठीक है, they are like कोई बात नहीं, देखते हैं. तो फिर डिसाइड हुआ कि 12th के बाद ज्वाइन किया जाएगा फ्रैंकफिन, एंड मैं बनूंगी एयर हॉस्टेस.
ओके ओके.
तो अब मतलब डिमोट होते होते मेरा ड्रीम एयर हॉस्टेस पे आ चुका था. तो माय फादर वर ठीक है, तेरे को बनना है, यू कैन बी दैट, बट यू नो लेट मी गिव यू अ सजेशन. मैंने कहा बताओ. तो दिस वाज लाइक 10th में कॉन्वर्सेशन हो रही है. लाइक व्हाई डोंट यू, तू ऐसे कर, व्हाई डोंट यू डू ग्रेजुएशन होटल मैनेजमेंट कर ले, ठीक है ना. तो अब इफ यू डू अ होटल मैनेजमेंट यू कैन स्टिल बिकम एन एयर हॉस्टेस. इट्स नॉट टू मच स्टडीज एंड यू स्टिल हैव अ डिग्री एज वेल. मैंने कहा आइडिया तो अच्छा है. तो फिर जब 10th में पास हुई मैं, उसके बाद माय फादर वाले चल ठीक है, अब तो मतलब यू कैन टेक एनी सब्जेक्ट, टेक आर्ट्स एंड गो हेड. अब आर्ट्स की प्रॉब्लम ये है कि आई हेटेड हिस्ट्री. तो आई वाज लाइक मैं तो नहीं लेती. आई वाज वेरी गुड एट मैथ्स एंड साइंस, मेरे बहुत ही अच्छे आते थे, बस मेरा दिमाग खराब था थोड़ा सा. आई वाज लाइक स्टबर्न. तो आई वाज लाइक ठीक है, अब ये तो कर लिया, तो पढ़ ही रहे हैं, तो फिर नॉन मेडिकल ले लेते हैं. तो फिर नॉन मेड लिया मैंने. आई स्टडीड लाइक आई क्लियर्ड माय 12th, मार्क्स भी सही थे. तो पेरेंट्स की होप्स हो गई ऊपर, एंड दे वर लाइक, ऊपर था ना ये ट्यूशन टीचर्स जो होते हैं, दे ऑलवेज लाइक ट्राई टू पुश दिस ऑन योर पेरेंट्स कि नहीं IIT करेगी लड़की.
ओके.
पेरेंट्स को लगा लड़की तो मतलब निकल जाएगी. तो एनीवे मतलब उन लोगों के थे होप्स, हमने तोड़ दिए। फिर मैंने कहा अब तो होटल मैनेजमेंट कहा था आपने, मैं वही करूँगी। तो दे वर लाइक कि देखो अब करना है होटल मैनेजमेंट तो यू हैव टू गेट थ्रू द बेस्ट कॉलेज, तो ही करना है, अदरवाइज़ यू डू इंजीनियरिंग। फिर आई गिव माय AIEEE एग्ज़ाम, 2-3 और एग्ज़ाम दिए। आई गॉट गुड कॉलेज, मुझे PTU मिल रहा था, पंजाब टेक्निकल यूनिवर्सिटी। इट इज़ अ गुड कॉलेज। दे वर लाइक या तो वो कर लो, अच्छा है घर के घर पे रहोगे और आराम से यू विल हैव गुड एजुकेशन। आई वाज़ लाइक नहीं, अभी तो रिजल्ट बाकी है।
PTU में इंजीनियरिंग मिल रहा था।
हाँ जी।
ओके।
आई वाज़ लाइक कि नहीं अभी तो बाकी है रिजल्ट होटल मैनेजमेंट का। वो तो देखेंगे, देखेंगे। अभी मैं आई तो नो आई हैव टू बी एन एयर होस्टेस। तो फिर उसका रिजल्ट आया, आई गॉट थ्रू IHM Pusa। इट इज़ लाइक IHM Pusa is a government college, the top college for hotel management in India. So I was like कि अब तो ये नंबर 1 है, मैं नंबर 1 में क्यों नहीं करूँ? तो फिर मैं अब चली गई। अब I came to Delhi and I started doing that. And फिर अब now I was in a different environment altogether, not controlled by parents. You know, exposure was more. And hotel management, okay, let me make this one thing clear. It is a lot of studies. ऐसा नहीं है कि कम पढ़ना पड़ता है। इनफैक्ट मतलब प्रैक्टिकल भी करते हो एंड यू आल्सो हैव टू स्टडी साइंस सब्जेक्ट्स, न्यूट्रिशन सब्जेक्ट्स एंड कंप्यूटर्स। तो थोड़ा-सा लेट डाउन था वहाँ पे, बट किसी तरीके से कर लिया। फिर वो सब करके आई सेकंड ईयर में आते-आते मुझे बारटेंडिंग पसंद आ गया, मैंने कहा बारटेंडिंग करेंगे। थर्ड ईयर में आते-आते मुझे किचन पसंद आ गया, मैंने कहा अब शेफ बनेंगे। तो
So this was like a residential course. You were staying on campus.
आई वाज़ स्टेइंग देयर, इट वाज़ अ लॉट ऑफ फन। सीनियर्स बहुत सही है, तो हमारे वहाँ पे ना गॉड पेरेंट्स होते हैं। I think most college, only professional colleges have that kind of relationship with the seniors, and like the hostlers they have more so because वो फिर पूरा एकदम टीम सी बन जाती है। So I had my godfather who was in kitchens. He was also a chef. तो मेरे को भी उसमें इंटरेस्ट आ गया, मजा आता था। So I ended up deciding कि ठीक है अब छोड़ो ये हॉस्टल वगैरह कोई बात नहीं, let's be a chef. And then once I get trained in good hotels, after that I'll take a cruise में कोई नौकरी या ऐसे कुछ। तो अभी भी मतलब घूमने का मन था बेसिकली, तो किसी तरीके से I was trying to align myself कि ऐसे कर लेते हैं। तो आप हवाई जहाज में नहीं तो आप जहाज में घूम रहे हो। So I did that. Then I joined Imperial Hotel as
So which year did you finish your HM?
I finished in 2010.
And when सीधा like campus से you got placed at Imperial.
हाँ, कैंपस से आई गॉट प्लेस्ड। सो उस टाइम पे आई थिंक तब मेरा मतलब वैसे डाई हार्ड सा इंटरेस्ट आ चुका था किचन्स में एंड देयर वर फ्यू कॉम्पिटिशंस आई वन, तो वैसे ही मतलब आई थॉट यही बेस्ट है। सो आई वेंट थ्रू दैट एट दैट
Competitions in college, yeah, like inter college and like what?
inter college and national. So there was a national thing competition that was being held. So the only reason I could not attend that one, so inter college वगैरह हो चुका था, regional भी हो चुके थे। The final they used to do this at international level. So the final one had to happen in Santiago, Chile. So
Was it like a master chef जैसे दिखता है अबे वो वैसा टाइप था क्या?
पता नहीं उस टाइम तो ऐसे ही लगता था। यही सब कुछ है। सो उसके बाद वो था कुछ ऐसे हैदराबाद में नेशनल होना था, नेशनल्स, एंड आई हैड वन लाइक रीजनल हो चुके थे एंड आई न्यू हु इज गोइंग टू पार्टिसिपेट। आई हैड वन अगेंस्ट देम इन अदर कॉम्पिटिशंस एंड ऑल। तो फिर उस टाइम पे ऐसे कुछ मतलब कॉलेज से सीन हो गया। टीचर वाज लाइक कि अच्छा वहाँ पे तो एकोमोडेशन एक ही को मिलेगा, तो यू यू कैन फिगर इट आउट। And for the first time, I was going out of a controlled environment, and I was like कि मैं कैसे जाऊँगी अकेले? You know, like parents वहाँ पे जानते नहीं हो, parents नहीं है ये। I was like कि ठीक है, मतलब I can't go, and my father was in Bhutan at that point, so he couldn't have accompanied me. So I got scared, so I did not go for it. So after that, I joined.
So then you joined Imperial उसके बाद?
Yeah, I joined Imperial. I did that for 2.5 years. उसके बाद that was like but सही था मतलब I was doing Thai kitchen. Initially I joined Thai kitchen, then I was in Italian, then I was handling the multi-cuisine restaurant. It was good and there were very few female chefs.
वो इसमें लेवल्स होते हैं ना शेफ में, लाइक कॉमी 1 कॉमी, वो क्या फंडा है एक बार पूरा बताओ।
हाँ, तो ऐसे होता है कि आपका जैसे एग्जीक्यूटिव शेफ होता है, उनके नीचे CDC होते हैं, शेफ दी कुजीन। उसके नीचे होते हैं फिर
Executive chef is like the big boss of that restaurant.
executive chef is the big boss of not that restaurant. In 5-star hotels, only in India this is the concept. Executive chef is मतलब chain hotels में होता है ये concept actually. So there are multiple restaurants within one hotel. So executive chef is head of each. Then there are CDCs. Well, they can also have an assistant executive. And then there will be a CDC, which is chef de cuisine. They will be the head of individual kitchens. Then there are sous chefs, which are they really handle the kitchen.
Like a COO in a way.
Huh, CEO in a way. They handle the kitchen. Then they are actually we can go about it like this, like your CDCs are director. Then you have VPs or business head is the sous chef, and then you have managers, which is junior sous chef, and then you have CDP, which is chef de partie. They are the ones who actually work. They are the ones who actually are on the line kitchen and they work. Then there are commies, वही commies 1 2 होते हैं, and then there are trainees.
कॉमी क्या होता है? वो preparation like for cooking.
हाँ, will help you prep. They will generally be, so every CDP will have 2 3 comics assigned to him. They will learn from him and then subsequently they will get promoted to their level. और जो sous chef होता है उसका job generally ये होता है कि भाई जो भी mess up करा है तुम्हारा problem है, जो भी नहीं आ रहा है तुम्हारा problem है. So I joined as a junior sous chef. I became a sous chef, and I had a team of 28 people. So I had a CDC who used to, is the big boss of my kitchen. But then most of the work is done by a sous chef because they are ordering inventory. If there is a party, they are figuring out what to be sold and how to make packages, those kind of stuff. And my parents got a little anxious. Ki, oh, she's a girl, she's working in a kitchen, she doesn't have time for herself. क्या करेगी, family कैसे होएगी and all. So
tell me something. Well, is the kitchen like what you see in these Hollywood movies where that person is shouting orders, 4 ducks for table 3, and वैसा करके है क्या, and then going crazy and throwing a plate कि ये ठीक से नहीं present करी है, and is it like that?
It is like that. मतलब काफी हद तक वैसा ही है. तो ऐसा हो जाता है कि there is like different areas for different kind of preparation, cold and hot, non-vegetarian, vegetarian, different cuisines will have different areas, and usually very hot and very happening environment. Everything has to be done very fast, like really fast, because table पे तो person is sitting there who's ordered 10 minutes back thinking कि अब तक तो आ जाना चाहिए, but everything is to a large extent is done from scratch. Apart from the chopping and making few sauces that happens in advance, everything else happens at the moment. So for इसलिए ना it takes a lot of time. So everyone has to be like really coordinated to do this. So that's what used to happen. And as a sous chef, if you are giving, like I had 28 people in my team, if I'm giving someone off, even if it's a commie, so I need someone to replace that, and whoever replaces it, I have to replace him. So that means that I'm doing my work, which is more of a taking order, keeping inventory, deciding what to put in the menu, and deciding next year's menu, occupancy के हिसाब से कितना होना चाहिए, sort of thing. Apart from that, I'm also cooking sometime. I'm also bringing orders sometime. So that kind of work, which made my parents like really anxious. They are like कि क्या चल रहा है, life में क्या करेगी.
How long was that stint, Imperial का?
2.5 years.
Acha, so fairly long. And what was like the big highs of that stint? Like, what do you remember now when you look back at that stint?
It was amazing, actually. I was known for my pizza in that restaurant, in the hotel, and I wasn't even working in that kitchen. So I had like picked few recipes from each kitchen. Like from Thai, I knew something. From Italian, I knew something. From Chinese, I knew something. So like everyone would come to me for those one thing, which was I think a good part. And like there were two female chefs in the entire hotel. One was Chef Veena Arora. She's known for Thai cuisine. She's a very popular chef. And one was me. I was like छोटा सा, थोड़ा सा बगल में कहीं लड़की है, कर रही है कुछ. तो उतना ना पहले इतना difficult होता था पहले बहुत ज़्यादा, because suddenly a like young girl is sitting on top of such a big group who have experience of years, where कुछ नहीं, जितना उनका experience था मेरी उम्र भी नहीं थी उतनी. So like they have been cooking for like ages. वो जब से शुरू किया है, they have become from commie to CDP and like 30-35 years. Like ये experience है, ये age नहीं है. So initially it was very difficult because everyone thought that as a girl she will get favors. तो सबने देना बंद कर दिया. They're like कि अच्छा नहीं, you will do the hardest chores always. क्या ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, कर लेते हैं. And as a female chef, I expected more support from the superiors, because as it is, it's difficult to be in that environment because there's less monitoring back there. So my team was amazing. But initially it was a bit of a challenge. I think it would be for any new girl at that time, because now if you see comparatively, there are a lot of more female chefs who join kitchen. At those times there were very few in India. तो मतलब मैं तीन ही को जानती हूँ. There was three, I think. एक chef Manisha Bhasin in Marriott.
So then, why did you decide to move out? Like, was it parental pressure? या क्या था?
It was parental pressure. I had few accidents, like kabhi kuch jal gaya, kabhi I broke a rib, I fell somewhere. So this all happened in kitchen. My parents got really scared, like she's not taking care of herself and she can't keep doing this. And things were also hard because as a female, I had to put more on table, which is okay. I think for my age and for my experience, I should have done that. So I used to spend anywhere between 18 to 22 hours in my hotel. Like मैं घर 2 घंटे के लिए आ रही हूँ, कभी सिर्फ चेंज करने के लिए, कभी 4-5 घंटे मिले हैं, इस तरह से होता था, व्हिच इज़ ठीक है. आई थिंक एट दैट पॉइंट आई वाज़ प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर इट. आई वाज़ लाइक इट्स फाइन, लाइक फॉर अ कपल ऑफ years I'll be in this kind of role and then it will get easier. I'll have a hold of it. And I have heard that India में restaurant थोड़ा difficult है, but once you move outside, it's much easier. So, ठीक है, it was just fine. For parents were like, it will be difficult for you to have a family if you keep a schedule like this up. तो उस टाइम तो it felt like कि हाँ सही बोल रहे हैं, कुछ और कर लेंगे. But I think वो इतना nagging हो गया था at some point. I was like, अच्छा ठीक है, छोड़ो कोई बात नहीं, खुश हो जाओ, छोड़ देते हैं.
So you just quit, and like one day you were without a job and without anything to do, and yeah, you already started planning कि next क्या करूँगी.
Nothing. I just quit. The next day, I just said, ठीक है, fine, मैंने दे दिया अपना resignation लिख के. And I was quite a favorite of the GM and EVP and all. So they were like, why are you going? You are such a bright girl and you will do better. And we also want more female to be in this area. तू चली जाएगी तो कैसे होएगा? But I was the first batch that they felt like really felt like nurturing me. I had a lot of fun. The people were very supportive, but at some point, I think it became from my family side, it became a little bit of difficult situation for them as well as me. मेरे को भी लगा हाँ ठीक है, I can have an easier life. Why to be here? But once I left that place, I did not have a job. क्योंकि होता है ना, like everyone in a business, in a like middle class family, they always make a plan and they think अच्छा यहाँ से यहाँ move करेंगे तो ही बाहर move करेंगे. तो वो सब नहीं था, which was scary because that's how we are raised, right? If we are moving from one job, we want to make sure we have something else तभी move करेंगे. But for the first time, my parents were like कि यार कोई बात नहीं है, तू even if you don't have a job, it's fine, बाद में ढूंढ लियो, but you have to leave immediately, come home, be here, and then you will find something. I was like कि सब लोग क्या बोलेंगे, मेरे पास job नहीं है, I'm sitting at home jobless. They're like, then you prepare for study, then you study something else. मैंने कहा पढ़ना तो नहीं है मुझे. ये बात तो पहले क्लियर कर दी थी. तो फिर घर आ गई. मैं चंडीगढ़ में थी उस टाइम, पेरेंट्स मेरे. So I came home and I sat there for a bit, and now I was also pissed with my family. It's like कि जबरदस्ती छुड़वा दिया and all. I was having fun. But फिर उसके बाद the parents were like, ठीक है, you pick something, कुछ भी, whatever you want to do. So I joined a hotel management institute over there in Chandigarh and I started to teach. Did that for 2 semesters. I taught F&B service. I taught a few subjects in customer behavior. So सही था वो सब किया, but like teaching is one of the best jobs. कुछ नहीं, मतलब you know your stuff, you get time to prepare, you teach. If you teach well, you will find that the students are always supportive. They are always, looking out. Like they're picking you up. They're looking out for you. They are looking out for your help, and they try to make your job easier by showing what they really need help with. So teaching was good. It was easy, and then it was little too simple at that time. This was 2012, 13.
How old were you by this time?
I was 22 years. I started education a little early actually. So
You were a child prodigy.
नहीं, not prodigy. मतलब पढ़ने के लिए बिल्कुल इनकार कर रही थी, काहे की prodigy. So फिर I started, so I was teaching. I did that for 1 year. उसके बाद I started to look out for क्या करना है, कुछ और करते हैं, मज़ा नहीं आ रहा है. उस टाइम पे ना एकदम, मतलब I did not know कि startups क्या होते हैं, like people start their own businesses and all. तो बिल्कुल भी idea नहीं था मुझे. I was just thinking कि maybe I should do something which is related to hospitality, but maybe towards technology, because technology exciting लग रही है आजकल. The things that are possible today, or I should be a part of it instead. just waiting for something that will happen to us, अच्छा कुछ होएगा and then कुछ होएगा sort of thing. So I was in touch with my now co-founder Saurabh. So he had just sold off his company in 2009, I think, and after that he was researching on few things, but he had created a hospitality product. So I was like, I wanted to join him. He approached me, and I was like, yeah, I want to join him because he was selling iPad menus to restaurants. उस टाइम पे होते नहीं थे.
He was also in Chandigarh only.
He was not. He was in Delhi. I had met him in my hotel sometime. So उस टाइम पे होते नहीं थे iPad menus, and no, not many businesses were online. Zomato was just picking up, or there were few other websites which Yelp वगैरह काफी popular था. तो फिर अब मतलब Indians were looking at these projects outside and trying to figure something out for hospitality industry. But the industry was not ready for it. I think at that point, 2013, the industry was not really ready. Like अभी भी मतलब hospitality में बहुत ज़्यादा push करना पड़ा है. In past 2-3 years, they have started to go with subscription-based POS and those kind of models. 3-4 years, I think. So at that point, it was not very. They were not very ready, and so I had joined sales team, and I was bombing it. Like, okay, is the bombing the bad part, right? I was being bad at it.
This was like a bootstrap venture of Saurabh.
A bootstrap, a new company had like 3 employees. So
And what's his background? Like he's essentially a techie. Like
he's an ex-Microsoft. He comes from deep tech background, actually, creating data analytics softwares and solutions for companies like Toys or Us, Target. This was like he comes from totally technology focused background. So he used to create. He was creating few things for hospitality at that point. There were few developers who would work with him, and I joined for sales. So he and I used to sell, like, or at least we tried. We could not sell.
so you moved to Delhi to do this, no? Because he was based in Delhi.
I moved to Delhi for this, and we took an office in Hoskas. Because they were like concentration of restaurants was very good. So 2-3 महीने हो गए, 4 महीने हो गए. I did not sell a single thing. कुछ भी नहीं है. I ended up making good friends. In like 50-60 restaurants में they were like good friends I had. जाके I'll get free food and all, but I could not sell. अब इसका problem ये भी था कि I knew how restaurant functions, but I did not know much about technology, and the demography was changing. How people would sell now was changing. How restaurants were preparing was changing. How procurement happens is changing. अब सब थोड़ा सा ना वो होने लग गया था. Hotels में ना things are very primitive still to an extent. यहाँ पे सब कुछ बहुत फास्ट मूविंग था. I realized that I am not really familiar with how the operations are happening here, and technology भी मुझे आती नहीं थी. तो it just became a bit of a flop show for me that I am trying to sell something which I did not know anything about. So अब पैसा भी खत्म हो गया था because बिक तो रहा नहीं था. ऊपर से I was looking like फालतू का investment क्योंकि पैसा भी ले रही है, sales भी नहीं हो रही है, कोई फायदा नहीं हो रहा है. So somehow I ended up selling to one customer. I was like, अब तो मतलब ये एक हो गया है, कितना सही है, फाड़ है एकदम, we should do this. So I sort of got credit for it. I did not, मतलब मुझे लगा मैंने close किया है, but like sort of closed it sort of, so I got a credit for it कि हाँ मतलब will consider तुमने किया है. But now he's like मना करके आ जाओ. मैंने कहा क्यों? कहते because मैं डेवलपर को निकाल दिया, पैसा नहीं है. मैंने कहा ऐसे नहीं हो सकता. So I was like ठीक है. I was like ठीक है, मैं like डेवलपर नहीं है, then I'll make it. He's like कि मतलब बनाना है तो बना ले, मतलब if you can make it you should sell it up. If you can't make it तो मना करके आ जा. Because like he said it's not worth my time. I am not going to create a website and then do this. मैंने कहा ठीक है, मैं try करती हूँ. So I took a month का time and I started to learn coding. And I did not know कि libraries वगैरह होती हैं. There are already things out there. You can just drag and drop and create your apps. Apps तो अब आया, उस time पे website you could have created. But then I started to learn coding. I did that for 1 month, and then I just like created a nice website for him. And I discovered that I was good with design. So I made a beautiful website. I gave it to him. Money came in. I was like, ठीक है, थोड़ा सा relief आया है यहाँ पे.
You were on salary? Like you were getting a salary? Yeah, you were.
I was getting a salary initially for 4 months. After that, I was like, it just kept on reducing. And then I was at a point where I was like कि घर तो नहीं जा सकते, बेचना तो है. So that's when it happened. I was like, ठीक है अब मैं बना के तब देती हूँ, then I'll get some money because I can't go home. Once I go home, my parents will be like, ठीक है अब पढ़ाई करो और शादी करो. वो तो नहीं हो सकता. उसके बाद वो किया, फिर एक दो customers और आ गए थे, but then ना वो we started to learn more about the industry, understand कि ये this cannot be a multi-million dollar business. वैसा product है ही नहीं वो. It's a services business and you cannot like scale it, and with two people so of course you can't. So we started to figure out कि अच्छा ऐसे नहीं तो ऐसे करेंगे, ये नहीं तो वो करेंगे. And during that time Saurabh created this, उस time beacons आए थे. You remember what beacons were? So you can identify location कौन सी है, calculate the distance between them and then identify कि अच्छा इतना area है यहाँ पे, sort of things. तो there were multiple applications. Beacon चला नहीं, मतलब Beacon internationally भी did not work that well क्योंकि वो product वैसा था ही नहीं actually. So we created something called cashless. और उस time पे Paytm पे ये QR based system नहीं होता था. We created this जहाँ पे app जो है using Beacon or using something as a identifier, you can simply pay from your phone without talking to anyone, like without asking for the bill. So if you're sitting on a table, you can scan the beacon over there and it will give you the order, your bill on your phone. So we had created that, but we had no intention of building it more. We created it solely for solely to get some money, because there were competitions happening all everywhere, where you would go and show something amazing and you will get some prize money. So we were like कि जब तक हम figure out करते हैं तब तक थोड़ा सा पैसा तो मिलना चाहिए. How will we survive?
Basically, वो hackathons जो होते हैं उसमें you used to go and show that.
Correct. So अभी हम ना उस मतलब we were in R&D mode and अब थोड़ा समझ में आना शुरू हो गया था, and I was excited about कि हो startup will create something amazing and बहुत पार हो जाएगा. तो वही उस टाइम पे वो सब फोकस था. फिर then we founded a company called Realbox Data Analytics. So this was again focused on hospitality industry, and we were like कि ठीक है सब कुछ साइड में. They do not have any BI tool that helps them discover insights on their data, because at that point for small businesses the only way to assess their data was Excel. So we are like ये करेंगे, and then we ended up making some clients like PVR, Blue Walls, VLCC.
So what was the product exactly? Like you would take their sales data and make dashboards out of it.
It was a full service analytics tool. We will take your data, we'll connect to your database, and we will create these dashboard. We used to call them real time dashboards, because as the data keeps getting updated, तो ये भी अपने आप update हो जाते थे. So we used to provide you these web apps.
How would your dashboard talk to the dashboard of PVR? मतलब वो PVR का कोई proprietary tool होगा जिसमें वो billing वगैरह करते होंगे?
नहीं, उनका जो POS था, PO systems जो होते हैं, their other system, तो उससे डेटा उसमें जाता था डेटाबेस में, और वहां से फिर ये कनेक्ट करते थे.
Some sort of an API integration जिसके through.
There was the integration, and we had created a push based mechanism where whenever the bill is punched, the new information will get pushed. तो हमारा एक पैरेलल डेटाबेस था एक्चुअली, एक पैरेलल इंजन था. व्हेनेवर समथिंग गेट्स पंच्ड इन, इट विल गेट पुश, बिकॉज दे यूज्ड टू सिंक इट वंस अ डे. तो फिर वो रियल टाइम नहीं हो पाता था. वी वर लाइक कि ठीक है, जब भी इसमें पंच होगा, जब भी न्यू इन्फॉर्मेशन आएगी, इट विल पुश इट इन द डेटाबेस एंड देन वी विल बी एबल टू एनालाइज इट. और मतलब देन वी हैड अ एनालिटिक्स इंजन ऑन टॉप ऑफ इट, एंड वी हैड क्रिएटेड अ यूनिवर्सल connector which can connect to any POS system. और POS इंडिया में एटलीस्ट 70-80 POS सिस्टम्स हैं जो मतलब बहुत पॉपुलर हैं, इक्वल मार्केट है उनका एक्चुअली. So we had to create like a universal connector. That was our very popular thing, which in fact like couple of companies later asked to buy in. So Zomato wanted it. Zomato को चाहिए था, MobiKwik को चाहिए था. तो they were like कि वो क्या करता था, जितने भी POS सिस्टम है, तो अभी क्या होता है, whenever you have to connect a new POS, you will go and you have to create that particular connection over there. उनकी APIs नहीं होती थी.
हाँ, वो custom coding करके बनाना पड़ता है हर बार.
Correct. हाँ. तो वो करना पड़ता था. तो what we had created is something कि it will connect to everything. तो वो Zomato wanted it, but उस time पे we felt like कि वो उनको exclusivity भी चाहिए थी. Same with MobiKwik, and we were feeling that we can do much better. We can create something bigger with it. But today we realize that the end model was not that correct. The end product was not that correct. We probably should have kept that universal adapter part, वो शायद better रहता. But that's why we had full service analytics as a service available to everyone. तो उस time पे PVR, Bluos and VLCC, then another. There 2-3 more smaller customers, but वो ना उतना scale ही नहीं कर पा रहे थे. We had like few big customers who were giving us most money, and उनके भरोसे वो पूरा चल रहा था. Plus in India now it becomes very difficult to work with larger enterprises, especially for smaller startup, because we want to please them with everything, and they also want that things should go smooth, and if they have spent money, that the other startup, small company at least should be taking care of everything. So it sort of became like that. Then they wanted us to make a pause. We ended up creating a pause, which was not even our job. So at some point, we were like, it is not working out. We need to cut these relationships, which we did.
And was that difficult?
No, it was fine. We already had customers. We were doing fine. We were able to do 1 crore in first year of operations. तो सही चल रहा था from a new company perspective. तो सही चल रहा था. तो मतलब next year we raised some money. फिर उसके बाद हम उसको यहाँ से scale नहीं कर पा रहे थे.
Now you look back and you realize कि वो product सही नहीं था. तो क्यों नहीं सही था product? मतलब I would imagine that restaurants would want insights to increase efficiency and they would be willing to pay for it. So क्या था? Was it too expensive, or was it that they didn't value insights?
Expensive भी था, but I think value उतनी होती तो फिर they would have paid for it, and if there was enough market, we would have created a lighter version. But restaurants do not have that kind of data. Our market was wrong. So even as a chef, if I think that was my issue, I had a small problem that I have to look at a 400 people property. Okay, where I have to imagine every day, this is what I need to cook, this is what I need to order. So बहुत छोटा है वो, उतना ज़्यादा data ही नहीं है actually. If I have to analyze that how many expats are there and how much continental and how much Indian food should be there, so it's a very small thing. So for someone like them who are doing it for ages, they had these figures on their finger. उनको ज़रूरत ही नहीं थी उस चीज़ की, unless you are a big chain, which was PVR. Unless you are that big that your ticketing is so much, same goes for VLCC, same goes for juice kind of outlets. Because if your ticketing is that much, only then you will be able to use analytics that well and base your marketing campaigns on that, right? So for restaurants, it was not the good product. Unka data ही इतना नहीं है. It was like it was wrong market altogether. So after that, we started to understand that we have to focus on enterprises, like large companies who have a lot of data and they have teams which is just creating dashboards for them. So we can be a good option for them to reduce some of the work from the analyst maybe, or increase the efficiency. So वो कैसे होएगा? अब वो ऐसे होगा कि you have to make smarter solution, smarter engine which analyzes large amount of data itself. वो हमने कर लिया था. वो हम achieve कर चुके थे एक level पे कि हाँ भाई अपने आप जाके engine, if you tell them कि these are the KPIs I need, it will be able to generate you charts. ठीक है, वहाँ तक सही था. So after that the challenge was that business user कैसे approach करेगा, उसे कैसे चलेगा पता कि मुझे क्या देखना है. That's where the voice assistant seemed like a good option to go with. This was अब 2018 आ चुका है already. So हम लोग यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं कि अब Alexa वगैरह लोग यूज करना शुरू कर रहे हैं. Amazon is also pushing it, it's being popular. There are few यूज केसेस, छोटी मोटी चीजों के, कुछ ऑर्डरिंग के. वी वर लाइक कि ठीक है, इस पे क्रिएट करते हैं. एलेक्सा से पूछेंगे और एलेक्सा आपको आपका सेल्स बताएगी, आपके मार्जिन बताएगी, कौन सी जगह पे यू हैव टू पे अटेंशन, वो सब बताएगा. एंड वी हैड कन्विंस्ड टोयोटा एट दैट पॉइंट कि आप देख लो.
Toyota in India या globally?
तो इंडिया में जो इनका डेवलपमेंट, इनका जो टेक्नोलॉजी बाइंग है वो इंडिया से होती है. So there's another unit. So it is Toyota something. It's another unit which does all the engineering buying for Toyota globally. So the Indian team was convinced. They liked it. They're like, ठीक है, अब देखते हैं, global head को दिखाते हैं. So he was visiting a Japanese chap. He was visiting India for a few days. We flew down to Bangalore. We were like, दिखाएंगे. And we went for the final meeting. Alexa ने जवाब ही नहीं दिया. We kept asking, it did not respond. And like everything that we worked for, like for a couple of months, we have been building this. कि हाँ, मतलब relationship build करके रखा है, जो चाहिए बताओ, we'll do it. But we just need this meeting because it was impressive if it would have worked. तो अब we are like वो चला नहीं, बहुत ही खराब लगा। We are like ठीक है, ये फालतू चीज़ है, ये करेंगे नहीं, छोड़ो। फिर a couple of months later, I think Alexa was in 2017 end में, नवंबर पे। Then we did a smaller project for them, थोड़ा बहुत ऐसे ही किया था कुछ। And then January, April में आया Google Home. It was available in India and we just ठीक है, अब Google Home से try करके देखते हैं। And Google Home they launched a very superior product in NLP terms, if you see. Where Alexa was the earlier version of Alexa, and but everyone had seen, उससे तो काफी superior था. The understanding, the intent, decipher जो होता था वो काफी सही तरीके से होता था. So you, if you ask something, you are bound to get some kind of answer. Like कुछ ना कुछ मिल जाता था. So April में 2018 में April में it came out. We did some internal testing. वो वैसे fun के लिए कर रहे थे हम लोग. We were like चलो try करते हैं, इससे मजा आएगा. So this was the intent. Actually, every experiment had this intent कि मजा आएगा. So we did that. और फिर ना मैंने एक वीडियो बना के LinkedIn पे डाल दिया. And like now you can ask your Google Home about your sales and all. तो उस टाइम ना dialog flow में जाके आप train करते थे. And what will happen? You will train few answers. You have to send it for publishing. 2-3 दिन में जाके publish होएगा. And then you can create small bots. क्या बोलते हैं? Google Actions बोलते हैं. You can create small actions when you can call upon कि अच्छा talk to this and talk to Alphaa AI, so it will talk to it. So for this happened in 2018. We were doing this. We showcased on LinkedIn. People liked it. They're like, "Yeah, अच्छा बहुत सही है. This is the future and this is good and all." And then we realized कि हाँ मतलब सही तो है. If people want to chat with their data, एक business user के लिए क्या है? They will ask their business intelligence team कि अच्छा यार वो मुझे ना ये KPIs जो एक chart पे चाहिए बना के दे दो. I am going for a meeting. I have a meeting with the bosses at on 25th. और तुमने मंथ के शुरू में बोल दिया कि आप बना के दे दो. अब आपको हफ्ते बाद एक उसका वर्जन आएगा. देन यू विल से कि अच्छा ये चेंजेस वो चेंजेस फिर जाएगा फिर आएगा. तो फाइनली यू विल हैव अ डैशबोर्ड दैट यू विल बी एबल टू प्रेजेंट टू योर बॉस ऑन द डे ऑफ द मीटिंग. और फिर अगर बॉस ने ऐसा कुछ पूछ लिया जो चार्ट के ऊपर नहीं है तो मतलब खराब है मीटिंग. बर्बाद है मीटिंग. तो दिस हैपेंस क्वाइट ऑफन विद मतलब एंटरप्राइज में दिस इज द नॉर्म. तो अभी हमको लगा कि अच्छा एवरीवन वाज लाइक सो एक्साइटेड कि हाँ नाउ वी वोंट हैव टू गो बैक टू आवर टीम्स अगेन एंड अगेन टू बिल्ड आवर डैशबोर्ड. वी कैन सिंपली आस्क समथिंग लाइक दिस. हमने कहा तो अच्छा आइडिया है. सो लेट्स बिल्ड दिस फर्दर. But asking, publishing it on Google and then asking them, like training and publishing it on Google was not an option because आप कितनी बार करोगे? आपकी अगर 1,000 people company is what you have and you want to give access to even 500 people, you cannot train for 50 questions of each 500 person, यार, right? So मतलब you need to figure out some way so that this analytics is happening dynamically. तो उस time पे we also chatted with Abhinav Taneja, who is COO for Google Home. So we connected over LinkedIn and they saw our product. They are like कि ठीक है मतलब सही है. But businesses are not there that they're going to use something like this natural language as of now. So and from the like long term perspective, it was not on their business plan. They're like we don't want to get into business so soon. अभी तो मतलब time लगेगा for people to get used to NLP technology. So that was the reason we created our own mechanism, our own engine, which now if you ask a question dynamically, it will query your database and it will generate an analytics insight for you. It will generate a chart. It will generate an insights for you. So that's where we came on the modern Alpha AI platform, where you can just ask a question. It will go query your database and it will give you a sorted एक तो पूरा overview देख के insight दे देता है. दूसरा आपको chart create करता है for the KPI that you have asked. You ask 5 questions, your dashboard is ready. It takes you less than 60 seconds. So this is the pain point that we were able to figure out कि हाँ हफ्ते 2 हफ्ते 3 महीने नहीं चाहिए. You don't even have to prepare the data, create aggregated tables. वो नहीं करना है. You simply ask question, it will do the rest.
So I can see that this is showing San Francisco as the location. So what did you like start a new company there? Yeah, and like did you shut down the previous company and do that? कैसे हुआ? And did you raise funding again?
नहीं, we did not raise again. We had shut down the company. मतलब चल रहा है उसका closing चल रहा है. But we had told our investor that we are not doing this anymore, and then we had stopped that function of the company in 2000 end of 2018 itself. Then we were working on Alpha AI. We formed a new company in India, and the parent company is in US. And SFO, US and UK were our primary market initially, because they were showing good response, and we were there for a good amount of time building those relationships. This was like last year, and then India was also picking up. So somehow we were in Singapore right before lockdown happened actually, and we had come to Mumbai for one of the NASCOM events. उसके बाद फिर रुक ही गए. But initially we are still targeting US market. US is our primary market actually. UK might take some time to get there. UK is a slower market in comparison to US. But recently India is also picking up. So it seems like a good secondary market to have. But for the SaaS product to be proved, I think US is the way to go.
How did you afford to sell internationally when you were bootstrapped? Because I imagine like staying in the US, traveling, जो भी है मतलब सारी एक सिटी में नहीं होंगी meetings. You must be flying within different cities in the US also to meet clients. So how did you manage that?
So one thing we have done in this company from very beginning, that we try to do most of our meetings online. Since lockdown happened, we are like, this one piece was very favorable. Everyone is more open to doing video conferencing now. But otherwise, we have done 90% of our meetings online. So we make it a point that we don't have to go unless we are deploying something. Initially, we had put some money of ours. Initially for a couple of months, then we ended up getting one customer on board who paid us for the pilot, then few more paid for the pilot. So we are bootstrapped, we are getting by fine, and we are planning to raise, but probably by end of the year, not immediately.
But मतलब you are like cash flow positive as of date.
हाँ, मतलब कैश ऑफ भाई जितना ट्रैवल वगैरह कर लेते हैं तो ब्रेक इवन ही समझ लो.
So what is your suggestion to like B2B SaaS companies on marketing? You're essentially like a B2B SaaS company. So, and I think you're very effective in doing marketing yourself. So what are like your lessons that you would like to share on marketing a B2B SaaS product?
In Alpha AI, how we market it was very different from how we thought we would and how we did in the past. Alpha, we were able to create an inbound leads engine very initially. मतलब, when we started with our first video, we did couple of videos on LinkedIn. We did few things on YouTube. We would go to a lot of events, talk about it. So we realized that a lot of founders do not put themselves out when they have to sell. They are the first people saying that, okay, मैं बताता हूँ, let me explain it to you. I'm going to sell it to you. ठीक है? But when they have to market, they did not do it. They don't see the value their face brings to the product. When people connect with you online, they expect you to give solutions of the problem they are facing and not give a technical description of the product you are making, which was our mistake as well. Most of the people who go talk to people keep talking about array itna amazing hai, NLP is amazing, the response time is so good, it's best in the world, the time to action is milliseconds. So they talk about these things. They do not talk about like your pain point when you are in front of your boss and you do not have answer to one freaking thing. You have to set up another meeting for next month. That won't happen anymore. You can just ask something and get your answer instantly. So founders, one thing that they talk about their product very technically. Second thing is like they are afraid of putting themselves out and endorsing their product. They sell it, yes. They don't endorse as in they have a higher vision, right? For us, why we are building Alpha, I think that like more people who do not know technology should have access to technology in easier way. They should not be going through training. They should not be needing another team to make something happen. Software तो बना हुआ है ना already. Business users को कैसे आसान लगेगा कि हाँ, how will they feel confident कि मैं कर लेता हूँ ना खुद से. जैसे you are uploading on Facebook, जैसे you are doing chat on WhatsApp. So how do I make something that easy for you in the industry that you feel कि मेरे लिए business करना इससे कितना आसान है. So जो वो higher एक vision होता है ना, वो people don't share with their network.
So you're saying like जो जो explainer videos types होते हैं animated वाले, those are like not effective. It's better to make videos with your face on it.
Yes, I think explainer video नहीं बना के अब you explain it. You explain what is the higher purpose for it, because अगर आप product को explain करोगे ना, people will uh, pick on it कि अच्छा ये ऐसे होता तो अच्छा होता, वो वैसे होता तो अच्छा होता. If you could show them the vision that okay, this is where I want to reach. I am beginning from here, ये यहाँ पहुँचना है, तो थोड़ा सा उनको अच्छा लगता है. What is different with my video is that I want people to be involved in our decision making. उनके लिए बन रहा है ना, they can give us input कि अच्छा ये ऐसे भी अच्छा लगेगा, वैसे भी अच्छा लगेगा, ठीक है, मतलब few things you can keep, few things you can leave, right? But when you ask your customers, only then you will be able to build something that what they need. हम क्या करते हैं, we will go and ask our friends, family, maybe some industry expert who's not going to buy it. Maybe I can do 10 amazing things with my product. कर सकती हूँ. Maybe you tell me, Preksha, this is how you can make it spark more. Someone else tells me, अच्छा Preksha ऐसे कर ले. But thing is ना कि is my customer buying it? No, he is not. I have leads from 2 years back who have come back. मतलब वो leads भी नहीं, उस time पे बात हुई थी. They gave some suggestions. We had healthy discussion. Today they are like, ठीक है, मतलब I'm ready for it. How do we move forward and let's start the process. Let's do a POC. So we have those kind of relationship just because we spoke to the people who had intention to have something like this in their organization.
So you're also like I could say like a LinkedIn influencer with, I think your current count of followers says about 1,65,000. So how did that happen? मतलब what was your journey to becoming an influencer on LinkedIn? जब आपने शुरू किया LinkedIn में पहली बार वीडियो डाला, कितने फॉलोअर्स थे और वो ग्रोथ कैसे आई?
300 followers थे. मतलब yeah, this is like I have had an account since 2013. I had never used it. अभी भी I think I still have एक दो post from way back. But 300-400 उसमें followers थे. And then when I put this video, पहली video actually मैंने डाली थी when I talked about this my first video. I want to connect and uh, like this is what we are doing, sort of. It was not a video of the product or a demo. It was a video of just me talking about what we are trying to build, and it's we're just starting, we're just beginning. So ये video था.
This was when you were building that for the जब वो PVR वगैरह आपके clients बन चुके थे, उस टाइम का वीडियो है?
हाँ, उस टाइम का वीडियो है. 2018 का ही है वैसे तो, but very early, like वो मतलब we could see it's not going anywhere. There was a lot of frustration and कुछ ना मतलब हो नहीं रहा था. तो फिर it is a very मतलब मेरे लिए it was an emotional moment. Like यार चलो मैं ना वो LinkedIn पे everyone is making video and let me start try to interact with some people. Maybe we'll get some industry connects where we can understand कि भाई मतलब how do we make this better. Talk to some relevant people. So I went ahead and created a video on LinkedIn, and that video went viral for some reason. I don't know why. So I had like 1.5 lakh views. I had 2,000 likes and some 700-800 comments, and everyone was supportive. And like people from different countries, they are talking about like startups are hard. You should do this. You should do that, giving me some kind of motivation. So अच्छा था वो. That was the first video. Then I created a few more videos, and then we started to talk about what we are doing. And then we realized that कि मतलब people are excited about voice technologies. They're excited about NLP. So वो मतलब that was the point of the realization. We realized कि अच्छा मतलब अगर हम इसको talk based बनाएंगे, where people can ask questions and they can get answer, it should work. So that realization came because people were reacting to the kind of videos, that kind of demos that we are putting out.
जो आपने वो Google Home का डेमो डाला, तो based on the reaction to that you realized कि ये मतलब this is like a hot product.
Based on that we realized कि हाँ interaction will be a good way to go forward. तो उसके बाद every week we kept doing some or the other experiment कि अच्छा भी ये करते हैं, अच्छा वो करते हैं. So we kept doing one or the other experiment every week. कभी we also created a comedian on demand. so we have a friend called Apur Gupta. He's an Indian comedian, and हमको लगा कि हाँ मतलब लोगों को ना ऑन डिमांड मिलना चाहिए ये कि लोग बोले कि अच्छा मुझे कोई जोक सुनाओ और गूगल जोक सुनाएगा.
अच्छा, ओके।
तो फिर थोड़ा सा ना ट्रेन करके कुछ ऐसे कॉमन से इंटेंट्स क्रिएट करके ना हमने रिकॉर्डिंग उसमें डाली एंड व्हेनेवर यू द वीडियो स्टिल देयर, ऑफ कोर्स 2 साल पहले का वीडियो, इट्स स्टिल देयर। सो व्हेन यू टॉक टू इट कि अच्छा कोई जोक सुनाओ, अच्छा एक और जोक सुनाओ, मुझे अपूर्व से बात करनी है, तो फिर वो जो उसकी रिकॉर्डिंग्स है दे विल प्ले एंड वो मतलब प्लान ऐसे करी थी कि इट सीम्स लाइक कि वो आपसे ही बात कर रहा है। फन था, इट वाज़ अ फन experiment that we did. तो बस लोग जुड़ते गए ऐसे and then we have understood few ways of interacting on LinkedIn, engaging on LinkedIn, which people sometimes don't do, you know. If you want people to engage with you, you have to go engage with them. आप नहीं करोगे, you will never get noticed. Once I did a video on Maggie because I wanted to talk to the MD of Maggie. So
Oh, wow.
it's sort of account-based marketing, but I created a video. I read a book. I created a video. फिर मैंने वो that also went popular. I think it had 72 shares. So I got a message from the MD and I spoke to them. फिर जो author थी उसकी उनसे बात हुई मेरी. अच्छा था, मतलब वो फिर थोड़ा फिगर आउट होना शुरू हो गया, समझ में आ गया कि अच्छा दिस इज हाउ यू क्रिएट वैल्यू एंड आई थिंक steadily we are being able to create some value. ऐसा नहीं है कि अब we have stopped giving some relevant content. हम जैसे भी हम लोग प्रोडक्ट को और इनोवेट कर पा रहे हैं, we are talking about it, we are engaging other people to talk about what they are doing, we are engaging in other people's content. तो थोड़ा सा वो community सी build हो गई है. तो ऐसा थोड़ा सा ना, I think people give up very soon when they start building this kind of network. वो थोड़ा सा उनको लगता है कि अच्छा हो जाएगा and that's why they kind of stay at, you know, but wherever they are.
So is content like social media content now like a proper operational thing for you where you plan अच्छा इस हफ्ते ये वीडियो होगा, इस हफ्ते ये वीडियो होगा, या is it off the cuff where you just record and publish it same day?
मतलब I would like it to be that way कि plan करके proper चल रहा है, but वैसा है नहीं अभी भी. It's like it's more impromptu. But thing is like वो though it's an inbound lead generation thing for us, we get good interest from LinkedIn, but अब चल रहा है तो उस पे ना इतना उसको चेंज करने के लिए एक प्रेशर नहीं है फिलहाल. It seems more like that we close what we are closing, we build what we are building. This is a one person job right now. No need to exaggerate it just because you think कि हाँ मतलब क्या करेंगे, like even if we can increase our lead generation multifold, we can't handle it today. So it is we I think I could have grown much better if I would have done general content, but that was not the goal was to have a niche audience which wants to talk about data and technology and AI and maybe entrepreneurship. So that is the kind of audience I have today, and we talk about things that we feel like, and they are generally related to our product, our interest area, entrepreneurship, technology. इतना ही है बस. So this is where it is.
So what all places do you see Alpha AI going? Like as of now, there is one space which you have like you know that anybody who wants to get a dashboard can just use a voice query and get reports. So what next?
We have created a sort of extension for Excel, MS Excel. So everyone who's using MX Excel, because mano nahi mano, 90% of leadership is using MS Excel today. उन्हें if they want to look at any data, वो जाके डैशबोर्ड से ढूंढते हैं. वो बोलते हैं भाई मुझे अब तुम डैशबोर्ड में टाइम लगाओगे, you give me this data in Excel. ठीक है. Otherwise, even if you have dashboard, you download that data in Excel and then do your analysis. So, and Excel has but 70 million users worldwide. So we have created an extension which you can just download it on Excel, add it to Excel, and you can ask question and it will fetch that data related to that question and create a pivot and chart over that. I am going to soon put a video out of that actually. And this is something we want to give to more people. Like, you know, this is not an enterprise solution. It is something so that everyone who has to try, not that kind of, but sort of an open product. So anyone can use it because people are so passionate about data. And if you keep restricting them with the cost, it's just going to make the growth that much slower for us as well.
Like in the longer term vision, what do you see Alpha AI moving towards?
In the longer term vision, I think जो AI है ना वो काफी better हो जाएगा. मतलब moving on, अभी where AI is today, it's going to get much better. Today we are dependent on few things. people to explain the insight, the whys, and product prediction. Prediction hota hai, and today also these things are there, but they are largely templatized. Like decision making खुद नहीं होती है. तो to an extent, I think it won't even take long. It will take maybe 5 to 7 years, where Alpha is at a place where you just need to let your intent know. It is going to give a prescriptive analytics on top of whatever is happening, so that it can guide you through your job instead of you trying to figure out, अच्छा अब ये कर लेते हैं वो कर लेते हैं. नहीं, you will have a guide, then you can choose to take the suggestion or not.
Like it could tell a restaurant owner that for tomorrow you should order this inventory.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So it is in a simpler way for a restaurant, but in, like, let's say oil refined, we can say कि अच्छा prediction ऐसा है कि this is the amount you should be prepared for. This is the rate. This is the rate that you can sell it at. So sort of मतलब how to increase revenue will be job of the machine instead of people trying to figure it out and put in hypothetical number. It will be a more calculated approach using AI.
Beyond Campus is a production of the Podium.in, powered by Career Launcher. If you like this show, then we are sure that you will love our other shows on subjects like entrepreneurship, marketing, books, and drama. Check out the Podium.in for a complete list of all our shows.